People with narcissistic personality disorder experience a complicated way of grieving, although they can and do grieve losses in their lives. Many people who suffer from NPD have extreme and valid emotions that accompany their losses. Some may feel an overwhelming mix of emotions that make them feel uncomfortable. They may spend considerable time avoiding these reactions associated with their grief. For some NPD sufferers, these emotional waves can temper their narcissistic or antagonistic personalities for the time being. They may also experience temporary restraints on any traditional impulses they might otherwise show. At the same time, they may lash out in rage and anger due to their pain. These grief reactions can stem from the fear of recognizing their vulnerability and humanness. Many selfish people find it incredibly unsettling to experience normal human responses to death and loss. They aren't able to function like others when trying to cope with their loss. Most of the time, they'd rather live in denial of their emotional experiences and reactions to grief. When a loved one dies, the behavior of a narcissist can vary widely depending on their specific personality traits and the nature of the relationship they had with the deceased. Here are some common ways in which a narcissist might behave when confronted with the death of a loved one. 1. Seeking attention and sympathy. Narcissists often crave attention and sympathy, so they may use the death of a loved one as an opportunity to garner sympathy and support from others. They might exaggerate their grief or make the loss about themselves, seeking constant reassurance and validation. 2. Competing for attention. In some cases, narcissists may feel threatened by the attention and sympathy given to other family members or friends grieving the loss. They may try to outdo others in their expressions of grief or make the loss a competition for who loved the deceased more. 3. Lack of genuine grief. Narcissists may struggle to genuinely grieve the loss of a loved one because they have difficulty empathizing with the pain of others. They might put on a facade of grief, but not truly feel the deep sorrow that others do. 4. Using the loss for personal gain. Some narcissists may exploit the death of a loved one for personal gain. This could include using the sympathy and attention they receive to manipulate others or to advance their own interests. 5. Blaming others. If the death was in any way connected to the narcissist or if they have unresolved conflicts with the deceased, they may try to shift blame onto others, avoiding responsibility for any negative aspects of the relationship. 6. Disregard for others' grief. Narcissists can be emotionally detached from the pain and suffering of others. They may not offer genuine support to those who are grieving and might instead focus on their own emotions and needs. 7. Idealizing or devaluing the deceased. Narcissists often view people in extreme terms, either idealizing them as perfect or devaluing them as worthless. After someone's death, they may switch between these extreme views, portraying the deceased as either a saint or a villain. 8. Manipulative behavior. Narcissists might use the grief of others as an opportunity to manipulate or control them. They could use guilt or emotional manipulation to get what they want during this vulnerable time. It's important to note that not all narcissists will exhibit all of these behaviors, and there can be variations in how they react to the death of a loved one. Additionally, some narcissists may genuinely grieve in their own way, while others may struggle to process their emotions. Supporting a narcissist through this difficult time can be challenging, but understanding their behavior and setting boundaries when necessary is crucial for maintaining your own emotional well-being. If the narcissistic behavior becomes too difficult to handle, seeking support from a therapist or counselor may be helpful.